Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Can we take Ryan Garcia serious? We're at a point with him where I don't think Ryan Garcia has been able to perform to his expectation. He's just kind of dead in the breeze. So when he faces off against Mario Barrios, there is a lot on the line. Now, for me taking a look, what this fight means for Ryan Garcia, look, this is not just a fight. I know he got a big profile, a big following. I get it. But this is like a reputation trial, you know what I'm saying? This is a credibility test. This is a career fork in the road. And unfortunately for him, this credibility test comes against Mario Barrios, who I don't care what anyone says, Mario Barrios is no joke. Mario Barrios is not somebody who's going to roll over for no damn Ryan Garcia. Remember, Ryan just lost to Rolly Romero. So the fact he's in a title fight now blows my mind, but we all know the secret society's in full EFFECT. Now, if Ryan loses, all bad, okay, he becomes a meme fighter. And a lot of people believe that's what he is already. He becomes social media boxer forever. And he loses leverage in negotiations, and he becomes irrelevant at the elite level. And I think that's unfortunate. I think that's unfortunate for Ryan Garcia because obviously he has some talent. He has a lot of talent. The speed is freakish. He's got power. But there seems to be a bit of a disconnect upstairs. You know what I mean? So, something just isn't right. So he has to win. And I'll tell you what, if Ryan wins, I know some of y'all are saying, hey, yo, hold your horses. Quit taking it to the stupid. There's no way in the world Ryan loses to Mario Barrios. Well, to that I say, in the most respectful way, you hold your horses and you stop taking it to the stupid. Mario Barrios is no joke. Now, if Ryan is able to win the fight, if he beats Mario Barrios and becomes a champion, he's going to regain boxing respect. How much respect? Look, I don't know how much he's going to get. He'll get my full respect because I know Barrios is the truth. But there's some people who feel Mario Barrios is the weakest champion at 147. I just think they say that because he lost to Gervonta Davis at 140, but I'm telling you, Mario Barrios is a problem. But if Ryan can beat Mario Barrios, I mean, he becomes a WBC champion. He's going to get a redemption storyline, and he for sure will be in major fights, unification fights. He even talked about going to 154. So when you look at it, and everything he has on the line, it's a lot of talent. But does he have the discipline? I've seen some of his highlights. And again, he's throwing these power shots. It just, again, looks like the social media boxer bullshit. And if that's the image he wants, cool. But reality is going to come to him real quick when he gets in that ring with Mario Barrios. So he's got to decide if he really wants a boxing career or if he wants his boxing career to collapse. Because I think that's what's going to happen if he loses. Now, he was being trained by Joe Goosen for a period of time. What makes it crazy is Joe Goosen, Ryan feels betrayed because Joe Goosen is now working with Mario Barrios. And this just lets you know that Mario Barrios and his team are taking the fight serious. They want to know all of Ryan Garcia's weaknesses, and they want to capitalize and get a big victory. The thing about Joe Goosen, he's been around the sport for a long time. So even if he never trained Ryan Garcia, he'd probably put together a pretty good game plan. But he's really known for the Diego Corrales against Castillo victory, which was absolutely amazing. But with Joe Goosen, he knows Ryan's habits, Ryan's weaknesses, Ryan's psychology, Ryan's camp routines, Ryan's emotional triggers. He knows everything about Ryan. And he's known Ryan since he was a little kid. They actually have referred to each other as friends. That's why Ryan is so disappointed in Joe Goosen for taking on the task to prepare Mario Barrios for Ryan. Now, when you look at Ryan, I'm not gonna lie. I would take it a little personal. I would feel like he's disloyal. I would think it's all strategic. It's all mind games. And I would definitely say, yo, this guy here sold me out for money. But hey, it's all business. You gotta get paid, right? So the narrative became for Ryan, like, yo, you train me. Now you trying to train this man to come out here and defeat me. But in boxing, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's just psychological warfare. The male and female boxers, not just in combat sports, but in all sports, they figure out a way to try to get the upper hand when it comes to psychological warfare. You know, but for Barrios and Ryan Garcia, now Barrios has insider info. Ryan is feeling like the target. Ryan feels exposed, and Ryan feels emotionally invested because he thought he and Joe were like friends, like an uncle to a nephew. But he learned that he ain't nothing but a goddamn cockroach and shit. But what this adds pressure. This adds rage. This adds ego. And for Ryan Garcia, it's like, yo, I'm gonna prove them wrong energy. And again, all that shit sounds good. I'm just telling you, Mario Barrios is no joke. But you gotta watch for Ryan for the emotional instability. We talk about T.O. showing mental breakdowns in the ring and getting frustrated. Ryan has emotional instability. Ryan could overreact when he gets into Barrios, and Ryan could start to fight reckless, which we've seen him do with Gervonta Davis. But I'm going to tell you this. I do believe Ryan could unravel in that fight. There are ghosts that won't leave Ryan at all. He can't escape the Ped controversy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going anywhere. He came out and did some little video where he's taking a lie detector test. You know, all this crap. My thing is, let the shit go. People are going to talk no matter what. You know what I'm saying? I got a YouTube channel, and, you know, and other people have YouTube channels, and people are in business, and people are doing all kind of different things, and people are going to talk. You just got to be like, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Everybody at some point in time has had to deal with things people are saying about them, whether it's true or not. But people are going to talk. So to me, Ryan, when it comes to the Peds, he should just leave it alone. Fans are going to sit here and say what they want, accuse him of cheating, which his test came back positive. So he just needs to leave it alone, man. His legacy is stained. His credibility is damaged. But so it is what it is at this point in time. You know what I'm saying? But no matter what Ryan does, the comment section is going to bring it up because social media is a very, very dark place. Very dark place. 90% of people who come out here and say shit, they would never show their face. And 75% of them have fake profile images. Maybe because they look like crocodiles or they want to sit here and talk shit, not be known. I tend to think most of them are ugly as hell. And that's why they hide their face. But it is what it is when it comes to social media. Now, that rant that Ryan Garcia went on, the pen thing was bad enough. But then that Twitter X rant scandal, those statements he was making, extremely, extremely offensive. There were a lot of insults, personal attacks. I mean, on a number of things. I ain't trying to get into it because it's so extreme. I don't even like talking about it. But as a result, it created some mental health concerns for Ryan and a loss of sponsorship respect. So I think the public perception when it comes to Ryan Garcia is he's immature, unstable, reckless, unfocused, and that all kind of affects his in-the-ring performance. And a lot of people are saying we expect him to get in the ring and, again, be immature, unstable, reckless, unfocused, and he's going to lose. But I have seen some people who are Ryan Garcia supporters who are going to be extremely biased, who thinks he beats Mario Barrios. I don't know what happens in the fight. I think Barrios beats him. But, again, I don't know. I'm not making a prediction. But one thing I will predict, is if Ryan Garcia, if he's not focused, he's going to continue to have performance issues. He hasn't lived up to the hype. He's been in big fights, but he's been inconsistent. He's been at the elite level, but he's been unproven. He lost to Rolly Romero, and he looked unprepared, man. You know what I'm saying? So fans are now saying, yo, Ryan's all talk. He's the Instagram boxer. Has super fast hands, which nobody can deny, but he doesn't have discipline, and he's just a wasted talent. And that's what they say, and especially after he lost to Rolly Romero. Now, I've always given Rolly credit, but a lot of people think Rolly is a horrible fighter. But, yo, if they were giving Ryan Garcia credit as a good fighter, but they should give Rolly credit for beating Ryan. You know, in that fight, Rolly looked structured. Ryan looked unstructured. Rolly had a tight defense. Ryan did not. Rolly looked disciplined, following the game plan. Ryan looked all over the place. So in that fight, Ryan, I think he knew what he was getting into because he and Rolly had sparred years before. And Rolly made that fight very ugly and very uncomfortable. It wasn't nothing nice. So I think Ryan entering that fight, he knew, like, holy shit, this guy can crack. I don't want to get hit by him. And he got in there and basically, I don't know what round they left off at when they were sparring, but they picked up from that round inside the fight, and Rolly did. He did. Rolly did the business and got the victory. But now you got Ryan out here fighting for this damn WBC title, which, you know, to me is crazy. In a championship bout, skipping contenders, leapfrogging rankings, that shit creates outrage. You know, for me, I just like watching boxing, but I'm going to tell you, man, even I sit here and just watch and say, yo, the secret society is no joke. They don't even try to hide their hand, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, how the hell did Ryan get a title shot? You know, who the hell did he beat? What merit did he earn? You know, it just doesn't make any sense. That's why, like, the fight, shit feels like it's politically created, like it's business driven. You know, it's just really all about star power and Ryan and his millions of followers. It's not about the sport when you think about getting guys like Ryan into championship opportunities. It's about that Wu-Tang cream, cha-ching-ching, dollar bill, y'all. But the bottom line is just being real. He lost his last fight. He gets a title shot anyway. It looks like favoritism from the WBC. And it also looks like marketing. And there are a lot of fans who are just pissed off because they're like, how? Who, what, when, where, why, how? Is this coming? How did this come about? So there's a lot on the line for Mario Barrios because if he loses, you know, I don't think he's going to get another opportunity. You know what I'm saying? This is his chance for validation, to really cement his legacy, to get revenge, and to expose Ryan Garcia, and to expose the corruption in boxing. Because if Barrios wins, he holds on to his belt. He's going to embarrass a superstar, and he's going to prove that he still has something left in the gas tank, and discipline beats hype. And he's going to end Ryan Garcia's narrative, especially if he knocks him out. You just got to pay attention with some of these fighters like Barrios when they're quiet, focused, methodical, structured. And the thing about Mario Barrios, he's no kidding, a traditional fighter. Like, he is strictly textbook boxing and coming in there for the ultimate mashup crasher. He really is like a blood and guts warrior, you know what I'm saying? And being with Joe Goossen only makes it that more interesting because Joe Goossen's got that insider knowledge, tactical preparation, and that mental game edge. Let me drink some water real quick. But the boxing fans out there, got this little cold and shit, but it's all good, man. We're going to survive. But fans just don't trust Ryan Garcia anymore. You know what I'm saying? They just look at him and say he only starts to kind of take boxing serious when he gets in training camp. He doesn't live the life of a boxer. His whole thing is being famous. They feel he lacks humility. He avoids hard fights. They feel like he just, self-sabotages. When you watch some of his posts, you know what I mean? It can be excuses, victim narratives. That's why I say just stay off social media trying to alibi, because you can't make these people happy on social media. Most of them just want drama and bullshit anyway, and their lives are miserable as hell. So they like to sit back, man, and watch, poke at other people and make fun of other people. And half of them don't even floss and brush their teeth before they come out here on social media and start talking shit. But I'll tell you what, if Ryan wants to be taken serious and get some of these cavity creeps to shut up, he's got to win clearly. He's got to win clearly. Can't be no controversy about no pads and all that crap again. That's a career ender for sure. Don't make excuses, no drama. Definitely stay the hell off of Twitter with your bullshit. And this ain't the circus, so stop acting like a clown. Get inside that ring, use that jab, keep your discipline. We all know the big left hook is there. And don't fight emotionally. Show defense, show stamina, show ring IQ, and try to go on and get a victory. And if he's able to beat Mario Barrios, be humble. You know what I'm saying? Thank your team. No conspiracy talk, no victim talk. Don't diss Joe Goosen. Just get out there, take your victory, accept responsibility for the good and bad, and move forward. He's got to act like a champion, fight like a professional, talk like the leader, and train like a contender. That's really what it is, what it boils down to. And to be honest, the whole fight is just weird to me, man. Put on my bracelet and shit. It's odd because I sit here and I'm talking to y'all and I'm thinking, Ryan lost his last fight. He has controversies, he has reputation damage, yet he's in a title fight again. Somebody got to help me make sense of that. You know what I'm saying? But what it does, it exposes boxing is business is greater than the sport. Fame is greater than the merit. And the views are greater than the rankings. So the shit's kind of like WWE. It's really all about popularity. And Ryan is kind of just a social media influencer who happens to be out here boxing for belts. So I just think Ryan will get no benefit of the doubt in this fight. He must dominate. A close win won't be respected. Like he's got to. He's got to dominate Mario Barrios. Can he do that? I don't know. There's a lot at stake when it comes to the legacy. If Ryan wins, he rewrites his story, and he's on to the next. He becomes a comeback figure. He becomes a redemption arc. He regains star power. But if he loses, he ain't nothing but a cautionary tale, man. He becomes a meme legend, the Instagram boxer, and what could he have been? And he loses elite access, but that'll be his fault. We all make choices. We all got to deal with the consequences, right? So this fight is about the past versus the future, discipline versus the chaos, structure versus emotion, and just boxing versus celebrity. And what I like to say is taking it to the stupid. But I'm still caught up on this shit about Ryan Garcia and getting a title fight. It is again, but we'll see if he'll be reborn against Mario Barrios. You just never know. It's boxing, right? Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.